Welcome back to Capital Catch-Up. I'm Victor.
And I'm Lenny. We have a significant slate of legislation to get through today, ranging from the massive agricultural infrastructure of the United States to the specific protections of your household furniture during a move.
We really do. And we have to start with the big one. We are looking at a major committee meeting scheduled for March 3rd regarding House Resolution 7567, titled the Farm, Food, and National Security Act of 2026.
Most people just know this as the Farm Bill. It is one of those omnibus pieces of legislation that comes around roughly every 5 years, and it dictates everything from crop insurance for farmers to nutrition assistance for low-income families. The fact that it's titled National Security this cycle is telling. It highlights how lawmakers are viewing food supply chains as a critical defense issue.
Exactly. And the timing connects directly to a few other bills hitting the floor. We are seeing a bicameral push regarding the cost of food. We have Senate Bill 3892 and House Resolution 4966, both titled the Stop Price Gouging in Grocery Stores Act.
That's right, Victor. And for listeners wondering about the difference between inflation and price gouging, these bills specifically target corporate practices that artificially inflate prices during market shocks. It's an attempt to give the Federal Trade Commission more teeth to investigate if the price of your eggs is high because of supply issues or because of opportunistic profit-taking.
It dovetails with Senate Bill 3842, the 21st Century WIC Act of 2026. WIC, or the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, is a lifeline for millions. This bill aims to modernize how those benefits are delivered and likely expands eligibility or the food list to match modern dietary guidelines.
Speaking of agriculture and the future, we also have duplicate resolutions in both chambers, House Resolution 1073 and Senate Resolution 622, designating late February as National FFA Week.
That's the National Future Farmers of America organization.
Correct. And interestingly, these resolutions also celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Alaska State FFA Association. It's a nod to the fact that agriculture isn't just about the Midwest. It's a national and increasingly technological industry.
Moving from the farm to the front door, let's talk about consumer protection. If you've ever hired a moving company, you know it requires a lot of trust. Senate Bill 337 and House Resolution 880, both titled the Household Goods Shipping Consumer Protection Act, are trying to clean up that industry.
This is huge for anyone planning a move. We've seen a rise in what are called hostage loads, where a shady moving company loads up your life's possessions and then demands thousands of dollars more than the quote to release them. These bills would likely increase penalties for such fraud and give the Department of Transportation more regulatory oversight to shut these bad actors down.
It's one of those practical pieces of legislation that doesn't always make the headlines but solves a very real headache for everyday Americans. Now, shifting gears to the international stage, we have Senate Bill 3838, the Venezuela Oil Proceeds Transparency Act.
This builds on the complex history of U.S. sanctions and energy policy. With global oil markets constantly fluctuating, the U.S. has had a rocky relationship with Venezuelan imports. This bill demands transparency regarding where the proceeds from any Venezuelan oil sales are actually going, ensuring they aren't funding regimes or activities the U.S. opposes.
We also have a sports-related bill with international implications, Senate Bill 233, the Restoring Confidence in the World Anti-Doping Agency Act of 2025.
This is fascinating. The U.S. contributes a significant amount of funding to WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency. After recent doping scandals where confidence in the testing process was shaken, this bill effectively threatens to withhold U.S. dues unless WADA implements governance reforms. It's the U.S. leveraging its wallet to clean up international sports.
Let's look at the workforce and economy here at home. House Resolution 7396, the Native American Entrepreneurial Opportunity Act, is on the docket. This is designed to formalize the relationship between the Small Business Administration and tribal communities.
It creates a dedicated office to ensure Native American business owners have access to capital and federal contracting. Historically, these communities have been underbanked and overlooked by federal business programs, so this is a structural fix to that inequality.
Alongside that, we have House Resolution 2851, the WISE Act. While short on title text, these types of acts generally focus on workforce investment or expansion.
And that pairs well with Senate Resolution 618. This is a resolution recognizing the importance of career and technical education, or CTE.
We used to call this vocational school, right?
Exactly, but the branding change matters. It emphasizes that these are high-tech, high-skill careers, everything from advanced manufacturing to coding. The resolution specifically honors the educators and work-based learning coordinators who build those pipelines. It's a signal that Congress sees trade skills as equal in value to four-year degrees for the economic health of the nation.
Finally, we have some significant historical recognitions. House Resolution 1077 calls on the Postal Service to issue a stamp honoring Charity Adams Early.
A name everyone should know. She was the commanding officer of the 6888th Central Postal Directory Battalion during World War II, the only all-black, all-female battalion deployed overseas. They cleared a massive backlog of mail in Europe, boosting morale for millions of soldiers. A stamp is a fitting, permanent tribute.
And looking at civil rights history, we have Senate Resolution 619 and Senate Resolution 92. These designate February 16th as National Elizabeth Peretrovich Day for both 2025 and 2026.
Elizabeth Peretrovich was a Tlingit civil rights activist in Alaska. In 1945, decades before the Federal Civil Rights Act, she gave a powerful testimony that helped pass the Anti-Discrimination Act of 1945 in Alaska. It was the first anti-discrimination law in the United States since the Civil War era. Recognizing her nationally is a major step in acknowledging that the civil rights movement has deep roots in Native American advocacy as well.
So Lenny, looking ahead, what should our listeners keep an eye on?
Watch the markup on House Resolution 7567, the Farm Bill. The debates happening in that committee on March 3rd will determine food prices and what we eat for the next 5 years.
And keep an eye on those price gouging bills. If they gain traction, it signals a major shift in how the government regulates retail markets. That's all for this edition of Capital Catch-Up. Thanks for listening.